Hey you guys, it's Dani. So, I'm a little late on this, but who cares? I got Happy Mail recently from the wonderful Dustin. Look, I'm going to show his card because it's amazing. You guys, this card is so beautiful. Modern Metaphysicae. You can see all of his stuff here. Awesome. Anyway, so I got really happy mail from Dustin the other day, and if you guys have been watching Three Fat Readers the past probably, 2 times, much to Lisa's dismay, Dustin and I have been talking about this tarot right here, which is the Hayworth tarot, and I got this in the mail from Dustin, and I'm so excited. So I haven't used it yet, but I swear I've looked at it at least 12 times. Like, it's so creepy, it's so weird, it's so fun. So I just wanted to share with you guys. So I will put the top down and we will take a look at this and just kind of go through it. All right, so here we have the Hayworth tarot. This is by Jessica Hayworth. It comes in this really nice, like, velvety bag with the embroidery on it. So cool. So I'm really excited about this deck. This horror genre deck is so intriguing to me. I'm just going to start flipping as we talk, just so you can see the cards and we can just talk about it. So here we have all the different suits kind of shown. The pentacles are these holes, and these like match things are the wands. We have the swords, we have the cups. Super cool. Anyway, there is something about this deck that not only speaks to my love of kind of creepy things, right, in the horror genre, but I feel like it's like nothing I've ever seen before, nothing I've ever witnessed. I love how that doesn't have a guidebook, but at the same time, there are some things that I'm just like, oh, what was she thinking? I really want to know what she was thinking when she did this. So while I'm not like upset that it doesn't have a guidebook, but I would like to have, I don't know, I'd like to know a little bit more about what she was thinking, but I do like that it can be open for interpretation. Now, when we first started seeing this, when Dustin was showing Lisa and I this deck, the first thing I thought was like how it was super post-apocalyptic vibes. It reminded me almost of like The Hills Have Eyes and, you know, things like that, which I thought was super crazy. I love the idea. This one reminds me of that baby scene from Trainspotting, only scarier, if that's even possible. So I don't know, there's something that just sparked within me. I was like, I can't get enough of this deck. Oh, I hate this deck. I hate this card, but I love this card because I hate this card because I'm not a fan of centipedes or millipedes or anything with that many feet. It just creeps me out. Anyway, awesome tower that we talked about. This one in the Three Fat Readers as well. So these are just so cool. The black hole sun vibes here. And there we go, that like nuclear bomb. I'm telling you, very post-apocalyptic, especially in, I believe it's the wands that are just like, yeah, super cool. Barnacled guy. It kind of reminds me of, it does give me a lot of like movie vibes, I will say that. Reminds me of, on Pirates of the Caribbean, the Davy Jones captives that kind of become one with the ship the longer they're there. So I thought that was really interesting. Now these pentacles, I'm telling you, it's like imagination or creativity exercises, more so than any other deck I think I've ever had. Like, I know situational tarot images often can spark that kind of creative writing or path working type things in general, you know, but there is something about this that gets me every time. Every minor I pull, especially the pentacles. I don't know if it's maybe the holes, but all I can think of is like the story that could go along with this. Like, pulling a card, sitting with it. This one is icky. Gives me some Doctor Who vibes. Mostly because there was a monster in a church. Anyway. I mean, I don't know, there just seems like there's such a story here. Like, what is she doing? Who are these people? Why are they in the ground? Is it something horrific going on down there? Is she feeding these beings that will soon come out of the ground and start, I don't know, eating people? Who knows? I don't know. They spark stories for me. And I feel like there is nothing like this in my collection that I can create a storyline with as easy as I can with this. I don't know what it is. Again, maybe it's just the genre. But like this one, like this guy was probably walking around, saw leaves coming up. They're falling up. They're not falling down. What's going on? He walks up to them. There are these holes on the ground. Is there something in the holes? Is it a parallel universe? Is there a Tata down there? Is he going to put his foot in there? Is he going to try to look in there? Like, you know what I mean? There's so many questions that could be expanded upon. There's such a storyline to it. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting in too deep. Like he's getting deep in these holes. Nope, stop it. This one is jarring, to say the least. Whereas this one seems very, I don't know, very vintage. I love these holes. This one is super, super captivating. I like these match looking things. The wands, yes. The wands is where I really got those Hills Have Eyes vibe. They just seem super like post-apocalyptic. What's going on here? This seems like some crazy, I'm stuck in the desert with like crazy people vibes. Oh my gosh. So if any of you've ever read Desperation, is that what it's called? Desperation? By Stephen King? Oh, if it's not right, I'll put a little title of it, but I'm pretty sure it's called Desperation, by Stephen King, where these people go into this like desert space. This cop kind of brings them in, and the whole place is deserted, and there are creepy things. Ugh, that story gave me the heebie-jeebies. The movie was crap. FYI, if you're gonna watch it, the movie was crap, but the book was so freaking good. Anyway, on to the to the deck. But yes, and maybe that's another reason why I find it so intriguing, is because I do love horror books more so than anything else, and I do love me some Stephen King, and so that kind of reminds me a bit of a few of the stories that I've read. Movies that I've seen. It's really, really cool. Now we come to the swords. I mean, wow, right? But again, like this one, I just imagine her still being alive, just kind of sitting there. This was done to her, and you walk upon her. What happened? What's going on? She's got a tale to tell that she's still sitting here. Oh my god, I can go on forever. Very cool Three of Swords. I love the fragmented pieces in this, because I feel like as a Three of Swords, sometimes it's so multifaceted when it comes to grief and pain and mourning, and it's like, I don't know, sometimes it can be torn into so many pieces and put back together and ripped apart. I don't know. I really like that. Four of Swords, where we have the insides kind of poking out here. Eternal rest. But you see, we have that separation in a lot of these swords. Like this one, like in the taking of all these swords and all these victories that she won, she seems to have lost quite a few pieces of herself. There's so much to this. Ugh. See, just like this one too. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. So I did a reading recently where I saw this Six of Swords, and it really reminded me of, you're trying to get away, and you are in a way getting away from these things of your past, but if you're not dealing with them, if you're just like, oh, we're gonna pretend like that didn't happen and try to move on, like, they're gonna follow you. And what kind of creepier way than to be a shadow in the water? Ugh. Again, like, what do you sacrifice in order to win? So interesting. One card that could have gotten crazy, but is just kind of the same thing. I really love, I keep knocking this over and pushing it around. These like kind of towels or shrouds over their heads of these pages. This is the second one that I've noticed that this knight is gross. We have the Queen of Swords and the King. I don't know why I feel like this king is like one of those, I don't know, one of those villains where you find out at the end that he's the one that's been controlling everything the whole time. This was his master plan, and it was so elaborate and so time consuming, and it took years to complete, but like he was sitting there waiting patiently for everything to unfold like he wanted to. This king feels very weird to me, but I like it. So here we go into the cups. I love this Pinky Promise. The Two of Cups. I really love that. We have the 3, the 4. I find that these don't seem as scary and as jarring as the other ones are. I really like this. It does seem a bit more, did I say that that 5 set was a bit Doctor Who-ish for me? Like, I feel like this is too. Like, the idea of, like, pouring out this liquid and it turns into your memories that kind of come alive. Very sci-fi type thing to me. The 7 of Cups. The 8. That's another one, like, no matter where you go, some of it will still follow you. That's interesting, too. The 9. 10. We have our other page. I love that red contrast in this one. The Knight. All the guts. The Queen. I really like this one too, and like the imagery that it makes me feel like, you know, sometimes you fill that cup with yourself so much to give to others, you know, kind of that, I mean, obviously most of these remind me of the shadow aspect of the cards, but you know, that emotional turmoil that you give to yourself because you give too much of yourself to others, you know what I mean? Can't talk anymore. Thank goodness there's one card left. And we have the King of Cups. This reminds me of those like maps. You know what I'm talking? What is it? Oh, I'll probably make myself sound stupid. It's like topography. Is that what it is? Or like the elevation maps. You know what I mean, right? That's kind of what it reminds me of. Super interesting deck. You guys, I look over this deck over and over and over again. I absolutely love this deck as like a piece onto itself. Like, to me, it's so much more than just a tarot deck, right? Like, most of my decks I put to use for specific purposes, you know. Each one has its own purpose, but I don't feel like I have anything in my collection that is so versatile as far as like a creative outlet as this one is. So that's really saying something. So I'm in love with the whole vibe of this. So thank you, Dustin. Thank you, Dustin, for sending me this deck. I am absolutely in love. Thank you guys for watching and hanging out with me as we go through this and bearing with my train of thought. And I hope you guys have had a great day, and I will talk to you all very soon. If you're looking for me, all my links are down below, and I will talk to you all very soon. I'm sending you all my love. Mwah. Later, Gators.